Hello and welcome to Banbury Railway Station on the Chiltern Mainline. Today we're heading down to London Marylebone on board one of Chiltern's Mark III train sets while taking a look at the Business Zone, the lost class of Chiltern services. First opened in 1850 by the Great Western Railway, Banbury Station is the first major transfer point on the Chiltern Mainline north of London. The station sees services from GWR, Cross Country, and of course Chiltern. Heading inside, we find a basic mid-sized station. Immediately beyond the front doors is a convenience store, which is closed on weekends, and a few ticket machines. Heading upstairs, we can scan through the ticket barriers, or at least we would if they were working, to find a small cafe and waiting area. While it's not a huge seating area, nor is the cafe exhaustive in its offerings, both are still welcome amenities. A glance at the departure board in the waiting hall shows that our train, the 1541 to London Marylebone, is still set for an on-time departure from Platform 3. While the waiting area is certainly a nice place to stay, I was hoping to catch a few trains before departure, so let's head down to platform level. Banbury has 4 tracks served by 2 island platforms. The platforms aren't particularly glamorous. There's plenty of covered waiting areas for departing passengers, but outside of that, there's not much to mention. Of course, it's just our luck that the only trains scheduled to pass through here in the time that we have are either late or cancelled, so no rail fanning for us before departure. That being said, I was able to catch departing GWR service as we pulled in from London, so that at least counts for something. While we wait for our train to pull in, let's take a look at our route down to London. Our journey begins heading south out of Banbury, trading blows with the M40 before breaking off east to bisect Bicester. The towns of Haddenham and Prince's Risborough come and go as the evening light fades, our train stopping in High Wycombe in the dying twilight. The Chiltern Mainline then parallels the A40, but about a mile north, the tracks making a sharp turn south at the A41 before pulling into London Marylebone at the end of the line. We'll cover a total of 68.5 miles between Banbury and London today, with a travel time of 1 hour and 7 minutes. With our wait time now up, our train pulls in. Operating the 1541 to London today is one of Chiltern's silver sets, with driving van trailer 82309 in the lead. Behind 82309 is a set of 6 British Rail Mark III coaches, with Class 68 locomotive number 68011 trailing. Our train pulls to a stop, the doors open, and we can climb aboard. Stepping inside, we immediately hang a left to enter the Business Zone. Grabbing a seat, our train pulls out of Banbury, beginning our hour ride south. So what is the Business Zone? Up until January of 2022, Chiltern offered a premium service on their Mark III train sets. This upgrade included larger seats, a quieter cabin by way of fewer travelers, and until 2017, complimentary refreshments. In January of 2022, Business Zone was removed from Chiltern services, with the area now open seating to anyone with a valid ticket. Even though the actual upgrade has long since departed, the Business Zone branding remains on the car walls and headrest covers. With that in mind, let's take a look at this effectively free business class upgrade. Seating in the Business Zone is operated in a 2x1, with all seats face-to-face in groups of either 2 or 4. Each seat offers around a foot between one's torso and the central table, though there's little space between my knees and the bottom of the work surface. There's plenty of space between each row for both passengers to stretch out. The seats themselves in the Business Zone are quite comfortable. They're much wider than their coach class counterparts, with plenty of cushioning for longer journeys and bolstering for the higher speed curves of the main line. A standard outlet is found beside each seat, though no USB ports are provided. The table in our group of 2 is fairly large, with enough space for 2 laptops for working passengers. Seat adjustments are made using the button beneath the outer armrest, which reclines each seat around 4 inches when pressed. Blinds are located along each window with reading lights above for some extra illumination. Luggage racks are located above both sides of the train. They're big enough for a large backpack or medium suitcase, but larger suitcases will have to be stored between the back-to-back rows or in a dedicated luggage area. While the business zone is comfortable, it did come with a price premium when it was officially offered in service. Before 2017, the upgrade was priced at £25 each way or £40 for a round trip. From 2017 until it was removed from service in 2022, passengers were charged £10 for off-peak and £20 for peak, the price having dropped due to the removal of catering. Free Wi-Fi is offered onboard Chiltern services. It does require the creation of an account with Chiltern, something I wasn't super interested in doing. The cell service on the route is fairly comprehensive, so I never had any issues staying online while in transit, despite not being connected to the Wi-Fi. If you're enjoying our ride in Chiltern's business zone, why not hit that subscribe button? It's totally free and it really helps support the channel. I also want to give a huge shout out and thank you to my patrons and channel members. Y'all are amazing and I cannot thank you enough for your incredible support. If you too want your name in the video or just want to support the channel in more ways than one, then head on over to the links in the description below. The bathroom in the business zone is located in the vestibule nearest the Class 82 DVT. Stepping inside, we find ourselves in a functional, accessible facility, though it's not anywhere near nice enough to warrant the business zone name. Although the sink works with plenty of soap, paper products, and a hand dryer, this bathroom is in need of a refurbishment. There's caution tape holding the changing table in place, the mirror is falling apart, and the floor is in desperate need of a deep clean. So while yes, it works, it's certainly not what I was expecting from our business zone experience. Station stops along the main line come and go, the longest of these at High Wycombe on the outskirts of London. Between the business zone and coach class is the now defunct snack bar. Until 2017, Chiltern offered onboard catering, a service which, as mentioned, would have been complimentary for business zone passengers. Now the cafe is only used to point passengers towards the business zone. In this area though, we can spot a bit of heritage of these Mark III coaches. Back when they first entered service, Mark III coaches didn't include automatic doors, instead requiring them to be opened by hand. Although most of the doors have been replaced, the 2 closest to the now defunct cafe are still of the manual variety. Unfortunately, they have been slightly modified to be used as emergency exits instead of as regular points of entry, but it's cool to see that at least some portion of the Mark III slam doors have remained. The sun has long since set as we make our final approach into London. Outside, the darkness of the winter night is broken briefly by the lights of a passing Metropolitan line train. While our ride in the business zone has been comfortable, it must now come to an end, our train pulling into London Marylebone at the end of the line. Grabbing our bags, we can follow the crowd of passengers out onto the platforms. Of course, we're not going to ride on a Chiltern Silver set and just ignore the wonderful Class 68 locomotive at the end. The Class 68 is a variant of Stadler's UKLight series of locomotives designed to fit the smaller loading gauge of the UK's railways. Powered by a 16-cylinder Caterpillar C175-16 engine, these locomotives produce some of the meanest sounds out on the British railways. And they also look great, with the sleek curves of the cab integrating into the sloped roofline of the rest of the locomotive. Down at the other end, we find the Class 82 driving trailer. Usually paired with a Class 225 train set, these driving van trailers evoke a feeling of nostalgia for the days of when the Class 125s and 225s ruled the rails of the UK's main lines. With our journey now wrapped up, it's time to bring today's video to a close. If you're new around here, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button down below. It's totally free and it really helps support the channel. If you want to go the extra mile with your support, then check out the channel's Patreon or become a channel member. If you too want your name in the video or just want to support the channel in more ways than one, then head on over to the links in the description below. But anyways, that's all I have for today. Thanks for riding with me, and I'll see you in the next one.